Hey, losers, this is last call.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Last Call for Losers podcast. I'm your host, Kyle.
I'm Ben-Adam.
I'm Pat. I thought we were going to comment on how shit the bit is, and there's no video today.
Yeah.
So our guest today is We Know Better Movies, who our own co-host Griffin is a part of. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
No, I'm a different Griffin. Other Griffin's gone for the night.
Does that mean no complaining?
Huh?
We wish.
No, it comes with the name.
Oh, your name is Griffin.
then
Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm Griffin of We Know Better Movies, not Griffin of the Last Call for Losers podcast.
Yeah, I am Conor, the better half.
That's wrong, because I actually, in my Instagram bios, have the better half of a shitty YouTube channel, which makes me the better half canonically.
Well, you can't self-proclaim.
Oh, well,
Your
I did
Instagram
it first.
page isn't a fandom account. What do you mean?
He's his
No,
own
my
stan
personal
account.
Instagram account has a link to our channel. This motherfucker doesn't even have our channel link.
What do you mean?
Are you changing it
He's
right
about
now?
to pull it up now.
He's about to change it right at this moment.
He's gonna like copy.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He's gonna like copy
You
your
have
link.
that website section blank. You
Yeah.
could just put the YouTube channel in there.
I could.
Yeah, and then we'd have a little bit more promotion.
Imagine if I didn't, though.
It's currently like that, so I can't imagine.
This podcast is gonna consist of just them bickering
The
back
entire
and forth.
time.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that
But,
the
like-
whole time for your podcast just Griffin complaining? And
a
Well,
lot
yeah.
of it was. Like, I thought about editing in some, like, elevator music every time that Griffin complains on the podcast.
I feel like people complain more about me complaining than I complain. Deodorant on today.
you should.
We can start it. again.
Stop.
Oh, I'm recording again.
Oh, perfect.
For those listening that just heard a little excerpt, yeah, we paused because Kyle's an idiot.
It was valid.
Okay, idiot.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's the latest video you guys uploaded?
The last one we did was our drinking game video for the Kissing Booth 2. And that was 2 months ago.
Active, eh?
Wow.
Yeah.
What are you promoting then? Whenever you say that you need more promotion on Instagram,
Well, okay, so
We're currently promoting our OnlyFans.
yeah. Yeah.
First month is free. After that, it's $39.99.
It's
I would
called
subscribe.
We Know Better BUKAKKE, and we're bringing in random ugly women.
Yeah, so on this week, our woman is Kyle.
Yeah,
Wow.
with a wig.
now does Kyle wear like schoolgirl outfits, or are you just the Japanese
I don't
businessman?
think we need to go that
Sexy
far
nurse.
to sell the fact that Kyle's a woman. We could just kind of like just the wig is enough, I think.
That got turned on me fast.
Have you ever been like approached by a circus conductor, whatever the fuck his name is, and he'd been like, "Man, we're really looking for a replacement bearded woman."
Another podcast that opens with like 15 minutes of roasting Kyle.
I don't know. Episode 10 felt like a really good episode, and all we
So
did was
maybe
roast.
That's the special ingredient here.
I really hope they enjoy that episode. That was a good one.
Yeah, Riley will
Hella
definitely return. Yeah, I don't know. Jury's out on Conor. He has to prove himself.
Oh, we should have the the end of the Marvel movies, like the more recent ones where at the end it's like a black screen and then blank will return in blank.
Yeah.
We just do that for Riley. That's a good one.
But
Yes,
no-
I'll just whisper like carelessly at the end of every episode. I'll just be like, "Riley will be back."
But
He'll return in episode 20.
Yeah.
only
Every
issue is
time.
we would
Every
never
time.
know what like episode he's gonna come back.
Well, yeah, we just say will return.
Yeah, we're
Like
not
they
giving
did
them
with-
dates. Although, like, we do have a good slot of guests coming up. Next week, we got one relative of Kyle, and then we have another one that I
Are
secured.
you sure that's good?
More relatives of Kyle?
No, Matt's
People
pretty good.
related to Kyle.
Hey, you're gonna like Matt better than you like me. So
Yeah, Matt is Hayden. Hayden is another roommate at this house. Hayden's brother.
right.
Hayden
Yeah.
will end up on the podcast at some point.
Eventually,
Will he?
Eventually.
Oh,
I'll get the bleep button ready.
Bleep button acquired.
I'll be ready.
little notepad. Okay, I gotta bleep out at this point.
My timesheet of when I need to bleep stuff out will be full. It will be 8 pages long, and like in 45 minutes.
You write a full length novel, ship it off to whatever publisher.
Yeah.
Here.
Bleep, bleep, bleep.
That would be the worst novel ever. What are you talking about? That would just be bleep. He said the N-word again. Oh, he said it again. Oh, Nazi. Bam.
We could sell it as like a.
Are we talking about Kyle's extended family?
No, we're not. We're not talking about that person anymore, so I don't have to bleep them out of the episode.
We could sell it as like a behind the scenes kind of. I don't know. Something. We could sell it.
Why? No one's gonna buy it.
What do you mean? Someone out there.
Last Call for Losers book.
You
Our
just gotta make a
4
Christmas
devoted followers will be
Christmas calendar.
One of them.
The Christmas calendar, yeah. Everyone gets dressed up in their nice,
You got to be careful there, Connor. Connor is speaking like Bane with something in front of his mouth. It is his fist. He knows better accents.
Well, I see.
Or
you
is
did
that
there.
the entire fucking podcast is going to be like dumb fucking jokes about the name of the channel?
Oh God, yeah.
Well, we started
yeah.
with we know better BUKAKKE.
Yeah.
Now we got we know better accents.
What was our one possible podcast title? Or no, their podcast title.
There ours. Oh, we know better podcasts.
We know better podcasts.
Yeah.
Do
It's
you
like
though? You're on
if-
Last Call for Losers.
Yeah.
Well, no. The whole idea was like we were thinking about doing it because we thought it would be kind of fun,
And
and
then
then
you
I
put
ended up doing it with you guys to much regret.
And there's
But-
too much.
because I didn't want to.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, Connor, you could come on as well. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm like, oh, okay.
When we
cool.
started it, I was figuring Conor would end up being a host.
So then, when did you decide to change and why? To come on, I should say.
Boredom.
2 hours ago.
Oh, so you were just here.
I just kind of walked in the door and they were like, "Do you want to be on the podcast?" And I said, "Yeah, sure."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They didn't tell me. So when I walked in, I was like, oh, I guess Connor's on.
Yeah.
Surprise guest.
Yeah. Just
well, the original plan was we were gonna have Matt this week, but we decided to change that because we were recording this on a Sunday instead, and then it was just gonna be us. And then we're like, well, Connor's here. Why not?
I got blown off on that date, by the way.
Damn.
Yeah, like I got blown off on the date that we delayed the podcast filming for. So
That
that was
hurts.
just disappointing.
Wait, like, so are you saying did you like show up to the location that she just said like, oh no, sorry, can't. That's not gonna happen.
No, like blowing people off in the
You would
21st
know.
century is now like just saying, "Oh, I can't do it this week. Oh, I can't. Sorry, you're
Yeah.
gonna hate me." That kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I hate that too. Like people who like for some reason there's like this precedent of like it's okay not just to be transparent about like your intentions or whatever, and you can just like lie through your teeth about stuff.
It's because you're usually not talking to the person. It's all over text.
Well, yeah.
you
So
can't
no,
hear-
people are like okay with like online dating and stuff like that. It's like because I don't see someone on the other end of it, I can be like a cruel piece of shit. It's really awkward because I'm trying to talk to Patrick,
Switch
but I have
spots.
to
Yeah,
like.
angled,
Switch spots.
Yeah. Switch
Well then,
spots.
yeah, but when he talks to Patrick, then it's gonna be the same.
No,
issue.
because I think he knows how to lean into a mic.
Yep, I gotta like do this. It's fucking.
It goes
Hold
like
on,
this.
hold on.
That's how I do it.
Angle the mic towards Connor, but put it where the.
So I'm supposed to go like
energy
this?
camera- No. Put it there. Angle
Yeah.
it there. Now
Okay.
now it's
That's better.
easier. See?
Yeah.
Now Connor just has to make out with
Dude.
you.
That's
Take a picture
fine.
of
There we go. I love
There you go.
this.
Kind of
Can
hot.
you give me a
Post it to the
smooch?
Instagram.
Be a good
Oh
one for
man,
Instagram.
why aren't we on video?
You gave me goosebumps. Look, they're all raised.
Man, is this
That's-
going on your OnlyFans account?
Kind of weird.
It's gonna
Look at
be.
each other. Look at each other. Oh wait. There we
Ah,
go.
this is the most
Audio
enjoyable
listeners,
part
which is
of-
everyone.
yeah.
We just took a picture for the Instagram account.
You'll
so,
see it when
stay-
episode 11 goes up.
Shut up! Stay tuned for the Instagram account update
Yeah.
when episode 11 comes out.
Connor's having a hard time not checking his phone because he's matched with a cute Asian girl on Tinder. To which, by the way, he didn't have any photos except for the Wojak meme of him lying in a dark room with his phone and his face like looking all fucking sad. Because it was a lurking account for him just to look at girls.
So then, you really lucked out. You got to go for this one. Your options are so low.
Yeah, yeah. He added photos and then was just like, "Hey," because like she basically said like, "Why the fuck do you? Like, what's the point of this account or anything?" Like, and he was like, "Oh, I just like observe or like looking or whatever."
like to observe.
That's so creepy.
No.
There's a count- there's a
It
bunch
sounds
like
creepy.
Okay.
It sounds creepy because I had a normal account before, and I deleted it because I was getting matches and I didn't really care. Like I didn't really message anybody, so I just made an account. So I just like swiping. So I just did that.
That's
and then-
still so creepy. You didn't
It
help
is.
yourself at all.
It is. But like
a little less.
Honest to God, I might actually end my existence if Connor ends up dating this girl and I like fucking actually took like dating apps seriously and tried for like 5 months and nothing happened.
That's just the new strategy. The meta change.
That's completely the strategy. You just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
You also have to be attractive. That always helps. But
There's a video of like
I'm out of that one.
I heard you guys talk about the Eric Andre show, which returns as we are filming this. Very excited for that.
Yep.
There's a video of them, Hannibal Buress and Eric Andre, where they switch Tinder accounts, and they're just saying like absurd shit,
I've
and they
seen that,
got
yeah.
every girl that they were talking to.
To be fair, though, as well, a lot of them, like a lot of the girls they were matching with, knew who they were.
Probably, but they're also like D-list celebrities.
I
At
wouldn't
that
say
point.
D, maybe like C.
At most C. Like they're not famous. Like if you
Famous
go,
especially
enough.
back then, like it was a couple years ago now, right?
Yeah,
They're more
so,
known
like-
now. So
Yeah.
like they got more famous when the show went off the air.
Yeah, but now it's back, and Eric Andre gave himself like a
Couple years
Brazilian wax. He's waxed everything.
Literally everything.
Yeah,
It's
he
amazing.
talked about like he waxed his balls, his ass crack.
This is my favorite thing to talk about.
Yeah, everything but his eyebrows.
Hey,
he
it's not
said.
cum.
It's not cum.
We're
No
not
more
talking
cum.
We're talking
about
about cum now.
The C word.
No, it's a running gag. No more cum.
Yeah. Why not though?
We
You
had
know?
a brutal episode.
Let's bring it back.
We had a
Episode
brutal
5 was just awful in the best way possible.
I gotta listen to episode 5 now.
We just
Yeah.
talked about
How many of you listened to, Connor?
none.
I've listened to absolutely 0 episodes.
Yes.
That's so rude.
He's on
so
the
rude.
podcast and he's not
Come on
listening
to my podcast.
I mean, at least he's honest. You know how many fucking like celebrities are like, "Oh yeah, I watch your show all the time." I'm like, no, this person definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
Wait, celebrities
Like the
watch your
Eric
show?
Andre show again. People go on, they're like, "Oh yeah, I love your show," and they still are on the Eric Andre show.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means that they did not watch the show, unless they're like, fucking Tyler the Creator when he was on. Like, he was obviously on the joke.
Oh man, he
Yeah.
just
Didn't he whip
ate
his
that
dick out?
fucking thing up.
No, I don't think so. I think there was just the whole thing of like the moment like he walked onto when he came up, he went from behind Eric Andre and just started pushing shit off of his desk, and then like sat down and like they started just insulting each other and shit like that. And then there was like the moment where Eric Andre's like, "There's someone we'd like you to meet," and then they're like pulled out this old white dude and he's like, "It's your dad," and then fucking Tyler the Creator started crying.
Doesn't the dude start jerking off like the old white man?
No, what you guys? I feel like you
Excuse
guys,
me?
Wait, does he come?
Have you never
You
watched
and Connor just
No More
really
Cum?
want to see penises. Apparently.
What are you doing,
No,
Tyler
like,
the
I'm not the
Creator's
one
dad?
with the OnlyFans account.
Neither of us have one. Actually, he probably does.
Connor,
But just
this is
as
your.
No comment.
But
No.
he's not a creator. He's a watcher.
Hey,
the man
name
likes to.
name one person you follow on OnlyFans.
Bella Thorne.
Markiplier.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, I had nowhere to go with that. I don't know if you guys did.
I
I mean, if you,
I was hoping he'd say something.
would you follow Markiplier's OnlyFans?
I've never watched a single Markiplier video in my life.
Hello,
Really?
everybody.
Not
My name
even
is
like
Markiplier.
the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, and that was big.
I used to watch Markiplier, but like I can't watch him now. It's the same with like Jacksepticeye, because to me, like they're like kid content creators, and I very much still get that impression from like.
Griffin's
their
a
shits
very
and
mature
stuff.
content creator.
No, no, I'm not saying anything like that about like what we make. I'm just saying like for me personally, like what I like to watch. I know Jared still watches Markiplier and
All the
Jacksepticeye
time.
and all that stuff. Yeah, but like to me, I don't know.
We'll be sitting in the kitchen.
I mean, I don't even watch like that much PewDiePie content anymore either.
Is he still number one?
Like out of like real people, yeah.
What do you mean real? Is T-Series number one?
As
Yeah,
a, not
number
like
one.
a company,
But like
As in,
yeah,
like
so
a
not
single
like as an
creator.
individual person. Yeah, PewDiePie's on top still.
Wait, so then who's above PewDiePie in terms of those corporations?
like
Just
T-Series
T-Series.
and YouTube Music.
Yeah, I think
is
there's
it-
a couple like music channels, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe like Ariana Grande or Taylor Swift or something.
Like,
I
well,
know.
I don't think so.
So the
Not
reason,
the-
the thing is, T-Series
There's
is like
somebody
the
for sure.
T-Series is like an Indian corporation, kind of like YouTube Music, I guess.
Or no,
Okay.
Vivo. I would. more
Vivo,
compare
yeah.
to
Yeah.
that.
What-
Yeah.
Vivo's still around?
So they have
Pardon?
they have multiple
so.
channels, but every time someone subscribes to one of those channels, it would go to T-Series.
Yeah.
That's a pyramid scheme. That's like definition of a pyramid scheme.
Well, their entire fucking corporation's real fucking sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Have you
like,
heard congratulations?
Yeah, literally, he lists the fact that they had like they colluded with the mafia, and they had shit like pirating music and stuff. Like was
Me
the
Too
beginning
stuff.
of their like company. Yeah, a bunch of like whack shit.
say Me Too
Also, they
stuff.
upload like 4 videos
That's
a day.
what he says.
That's wild.
No,
Yeah.
That's what he
More
says in the
than
video.
that.
Yeah, so
way
like
more than that.
Say
yeah,
sexual
but like
harassment.
essentially like there's no way that one person could keep up with that kind of channel, right?
Yeah.
So like it's not even like a fair thing to compare to be like, oh well, PewDiePie's not really on top because TSeries passed, and I'm like, well, no, because it's a corporation.
Well, like before, okay, when it comes to YouTubers that are not childish, okay, no, that's
That make
that's
content
pushing
that
it.
is more like, I guess, less surface level and maybe has more like quality or effort put behind it.
No, I was gonna say that it's more or less childish, but I realize like people can like childish stuff and still
Right.
be
No,
mature,
like
whatever.
there's nothing. I mean, like tons of people still like watching like Nickelodeon cartoons and stuff like that.
Oh,
at our
fuck
People
yeah.
can like
age.
children too, and they can still be politicians.
Oh, hey, hey,
that was a good one. That was
I
a
mean,
good one.
I mean that's true. Whether that should be the case,
Well, I mean,
No.
before we get far enough away from that, like Borat 2 just came out, and
Right.
there's literal video of Rudy Giuliani trying to fuck a he thought was 15-year-old girl.
oh,
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No,
Oh, I saw that last night. It was who's the character? Is it like Borat's like
It's
daughter?
Borat's daughter.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Borat's back. His daughter in one point of the movie, so I don't spoil it, gets to interview Rudy Giuliani, who's
Okay.
like an American lawyer for
Yeah.
Donald Trump, and like he's genuinely just trying to fuck her the entire time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's awful, and
Yeah.
like.
Yikes.
Borat comes in to try and break it up. It's hilarious. I don't want to say any more about
Well,
it because it's a good movie.
That was that same thing with Sacha Baron Cohen in the first one. Actually, like, accidentally stumbled across like some like pedophile like sex ring stuff in like the first movie, and the footage never made it to the movie because it's like a little like fucked up because he's literally like he goes to this. I forgot, it was a corsage or some shit, some guy, and he's like asking, he's like, could you get me like a girl not quite yet bar mitzvah but older than 8, he says, and then the fucking guy's like, yeah, I could do that for you, I know a couple guys or whatever, and like so like he like found some legitimate shit or whatever, and he turned that footage over to the FBI and they did nothing with it.
Well, I mean,
So-
yeah, like finding child sex rings is not getting very much media attention. There was something like 60 found kids in Minnesota or something.
Yeah, but that shouldn't
Minnesota?
be like
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Well, I hate to believe that. Minnesota's just like little Canada in the United States.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are
that's,
they the
that's
cheese
fair.
one?
No, that's Green Bay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, yeah.
yeah.
But going back to what I was trying to get on before we got on the tangent, I wanted to see what like content creators you guys actually like, considering we have content creators.
Yeah.
Kyle hasn't talked very much. I'd like to give Kyle first crack at it.
Oh no, I love just listening to this. I'll jump in whenever I got to.
Okay.
Go for it. Go
Yeah,
for
yeah.
it.
Okay. Well then, yeah, you go first.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, for like, Conor and I like watch a lot of the same stuff. I mean, that's a commonality. Like, literally, there'll be times where Conor and I send each other videos and be like, "Oh, I've already seen that," or like that popped in my recommended too, or some
Yeah.
shit like random stuff that like is from people we don't even like necessarily watch, but like just related general shit. But like for actual content creators, I mean, Gus Johnson, really like that and all the stuff that he does. Fuck, it's hard to think of a list because there's like it's inconsistent, I guess.
All right. So
Yeah.
then, Connor, what's one you would name? You've named one.
Yeah, I love Belle Delphine. She's great.
Yeah, do
that's
not
the
expect a
joke.
serious answer from Connor like the entire podcast.
That's his second subscription on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Adam, how
he
about-
likes
He likes what?
girls that pretend to be like 13.
I mean, and just parody Tekashi 69.
Yeah.
That was
I don't know what it is, but like looking at Belle Delphine, just like it my brain turns on like the thing of like, you now smell like dirty butt crack. I don't know what it is. She just looks like a girl that doesn't clean her ass.
What?
I don't know. For some reason, she just seems super unhygienic.
She sold her bathwater.
There's just something about her that like it makes my skin crawl. I don't know. She seems gross.
People bought it. That's
That's the wild
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I was sold out when I
I think it's just being like such an overtly like explicitly openly fucking like sexual figure and all that stuff that's like not at all doesn't I mean like kudos to her or whatever and like her whatever shit, but like that for me personally, that's why I could never get on into like the whole simping for Belle Delphine because she just I don't know, it's icky to me.
It's icky.
Yeah.
Icky Vicky. Anyway, Adam, your turn.
A lot of the same stuff they watch, not like Gus Johnson, but I like a lot of movie review channels.
Yeah.
Just because I get an insight on, like, I'm not huge into knowledge of whatever movie stuff. I just like
which ones?
Cosmonaut Variety Hour.
Yeah.
He's pretty
Love
good.
that guy.
Pretty
Any,
much
like-
it.
Yeah, pretty much it. A lot of like the channels that like go in depth of a movie. It's like this is this scene, this is what it parallels, this is symbolism, blah blah, and just learning up on stuff and picking up on
a little bit of Nando V movies, a little bit of your movie sucks.
I think my follow-up question to that then is, do they know better movies?
Well, there's not a lot of movie content. There's the drinking games, but even then you get like maybe a clip of the movie if you're lucky. You just get to see them, get drunk.
Conor and I's channel was also supposed to originally start as like a movie review channel.
Yeah.
That was the entire intention. It was like from the beginning we were going to like we're going to go see shit and then sit down and talk about it. Hence like we know better movies.
Yeah.
But we found out that takes effort.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. we'd have to like write notes and like actually kind of like construct some sort of like thing that requires brain power. And we were like, I don't know. So now we just make videos where we drink alcohol and watch really shitty movies on Netflix, or make like half-baked skits. So that don't have any scripts. It's all improvised the day that we film it.
Does that take away from it being a skit then? Does it take it?
It's
because it would be just an improv thing, right?
Not exactly, because we always like, at least we always have like a general idea of what we're doing. Like it's not like we show up and we don't have any like, we're just like, we don't know yet, we'll just kind of think of something. We always know like the general thing of like what we're going to do. It's just like the nitty gritty of it, like what I'm going to say or like the jokes that are going to be said. That's all kind of improvised on the spot. But like, for the last skit that we did on the channel, which was the 20-year-old Mormon, we basically had like 5 or so points on like different things that were going to happen, like the bigger things that was going to tie together for everything like that. And from there, we just kind of filmed stuff in between of like me talking in character. And a lot of that was just me improvising, like based on like what I thought would be funny for the character to say. And that's what we do for like a lot of the skit related shit, and sometimes it doesn't work. Fucking our Netflix skit is really bad. It's not funny at all.
What about Connor's input?
Yeah, no, we're not funny.
Well, yeah, as people know, we're not funny.
We don't
either.
know better jokes.
Yeah.
That one was kind of a stretch.
Yeah.
That one was a bit
It
of
works. It works.
I'll give it to him.
Kyle, you're the one that has not answered yet.
Content creators?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
someone you follow that you enjoy?
Well, it really depends on the mood. Or whatever.
Sip for us. Sip.
Or like what kind of like I don't know what I'm obsessing over for the week.
Okay.
Like sometimes they'll just look up like music because I'm obsessing over a band or something.
That's the worst.
You do
time.
obsess a lot, though.
That's the
I know.
worst
It is
time.
yeah. But I mean like sometimes they'll go like Hellraiser was super recently, so I'll look up a bunch of like Hellraiser videos. I'll rewatch scenes. Sometimes I'll move to Game of Thrones, watch those again. I like watching dinosaur documentaries.
That's true.
So
He
you
does.
get in a mood for something, you just get every piece of content available.
I usually try to, yeah. I mean, we had Jurassic Park a little while ago.
Yeah.
a little
again.
a little insight on Kyle that I feel like isn't known until you know Kyle is he goes on these tangents where he's like super focused on one thing. This is
Yeah.
more so for the listeners than you guys because I feel like you guys have clued in on this.
Oh
No.
Yeah.
Never.
So like grade 9, it was he liked Linkin Park and Green Day, and that was his entire character.
You like Green
No, it wasn't Green Day.
Grade 7.
Grade 7.
And
he
it
liked-
wasn't that much Green Day. I only really liked American Idiot.
No.
Grade
You
8, I remember it was a
you
lot
were
of
like
Linkin Park.
a 2-dimensional character, but those 2 dimensions were just 2 things you liked doing, and that was Linkin Park and Green Day.
It wasn't Green Day.
Speaking of,
It was never Green Day.
Okay,
It was 30 Seconds to Mars.
30 Seconds to Mars.
That's-
Fuck, even
That is
cringier.
like astronomically worse.
yeah.
30 Seconds to Mars is not that bad.
if you have to
They're
say it's
not
not that bad, that is important.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, it really depends on what you like.
Because
like,
a
as in, like,
lot of people can like talk about Imagine Dragons, be like they're not that bad, but they're pretty bad.
They have a few.
They had a few
Good
good
songs.
songs.
well,
They
because
have.
Demons,
Still,
Demons
is
fire.
so good.
Yeah, I really love Thunder. It was really
Yeah, but anything they're making recently they've gone to the absolute shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like as a band, like they're literally like I would say one of the definitions of like sellouts when it comes to like their sound, because it's not
Yeah.
even like an evolving sound. They just like fucking completely 180'd on.
Well, yeah,
everything.
that also happened with Sleeping with Sirens like 2 years ago.
I don't know who the fuck that
Yeah,
is.
I know.
You don't know who
don't.
Sleeping with Sirens is?
I don't want to know who that is.
No, you really don't.
Yeah.
Well, funny tidbit of information. Sorry for interrupting.
Adam wishes he was sleeping with someone.
Oh, me too. Oh, he's gone. Metalcore bands, they consistently are always verb the noun.
The name.
You know what I mean? Sleeping with
yeah.
Sirens,
Yeah.
Pierce the Veil.
Rage Against the Machine.
Close.
Yeah,
No,
close.
not really. That's more thrash, isn't it?
Well, I mean,
Green Day.
rage, yeah. It's a verb.
Yeah, but isn't it more?
Like there's only
Thrash.
one called verb the noun because it's so used. There's literally a band called Verb the Noun.
I used to get Rise Against and Rage Against the Machine confused all the time.
Yeah, there's also Break the Silence, better known as BTS.
All right, back to the original point.
Kill
Conor
yourself.
does not know better music.
Yeah.
What genre are they?
Who?
Sleeping with Sirens?
Connor.
Shut the fuck up!
Sleeping with Sirens.
This is
Try to
important.
sound
Come on.
interesting, at least.
Post-hardcore.
Post-hard, sure.
Is
So
a little
they
too
had
much?
they had a certain sound. They had it for however many albums, and then their second newest one. It's called Gossip. Don't look it up. They signed with Warner Brothers Media,
Oh, fuck
and it's
Warner.
it's so bad. They go for like poppy shit, and it's
Yeah.
all there's like no instruments. It's kind of bad. They have one song. It's about Game of Thrones. That's like the only decent one.
Are you talking about that new album with the candle head? Is it?
No.
Before we get too far, like I actually like this is kind of an interesting thing about Warner as a company. They're one of the big three when it comes to music labels. I don't know if this is going to lose a lot of people, but basically music labels fuck everyone in the
Yeah.
music industry
Yeah.
over. I've learned a lot of that throughout the year of just learning from music and stuff.
Stop.
Nice.
No video on the podcast.
No
Adam.
audio on the podcast.
And for anyone that knows who Prince is, like the artist,
Yeah.
Prince's whole beef and part of the reason why he started or tried to start a whole revolution of artists taking control of everything going on is because Warner treated him so bad.
Yeah.
There's a point where
and they killed him for it.
that's
Okay.
that's a rumor. Like that's the conspiracy theory that all these big artists that got killed, like Tupac, Biggie, MJ, Prince, a bunch of these guys were starting to get killed off in awkward ways because they were looking to empower more artists. So Warner is kind of at the forefront of that. And for anyone who's like a big Prince fan, I read his biography. That's how I know some of this stuff. Prince went through a point where he stopped being Prince and he wanted to be the artist formerly known as Prince and identify as a symbol. So he took all of his stuff. He said, "You keep it because I can't beat you guys." He's talking to Warner, and he went and he did his whole own thing, trying to inspire everyone else to do that. And now in 2020, as a direct descendant of his goal, people are starting to get that message. So Warner is both part of the problem and they caused the solution.
Well, so Warner, they signed Linkin Park, and Mike Shinoda's going in a lot more like interviews lately, and he's a rapper for Linkin Park. If you don't know that, and he's going on about how they consistently tried to change his sound, like the whole sound of the band.
Yeah.
Specifically, they kept trying to be like, "Oh, I don't know if this rap is working," you know. So like it was consistently like a lot of their songs, like the early ones. That's why they were so aggressive in it. Like, if you ever heard the song "One Step Closer," there's a part where it's like "Shut up," just
Yeah.
screaming "Shut up," and that is directed towards the people trying to change their sound, and that would be Warner not knowing if this would work and ended up working, which is good for them. But
So, a point I can kind of summarize from all this, because I was talking about the other day with like telecom companies too are like awful, like real fucking bad. There's not really like there's no such thing really as a good telecom company, just like one that's not as bad as the others.
Yeah.
What this comes down to, I think ultimately is that big industry bad.
Bad.
Definitely, 100%. I don't think you could list far more companies that you have problems with and that are like unethical and awful than you could like a company that like you actually like or you think their practices are good, because it's usually few and far between.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you want to say something, Connor? Sorry, you were leaning.
No.
That actually like transitions perfectly into the one topic I really wanted to get to today.
Yeah.
Kanye West went on Joe Rogan yesterday, or that
Yep.
episode got released yesterday, and I haven't finished it, and I haven't looked at anyone's opinions on it yet because I want to go into it completely unbiased. He talks about a lot of stuff I just brought up with the labels and stuff like that, but it's both the best podcast I've ever heard so far and the worst.
We're the
Second
best
best.
podcast.
Second
Yeah,
best.
there we
Yeah.
go.
It's both the best and the worst because Kanye has completely won me over to his side that he's crazy,
Yep.
but in the best way. Like he's completely well intentioned.
Yeah.
From what I can gather so far. And the main takeaway that I've gotten so far is that he just can't explain his points at all.
Yeah.
So generally
Same.
No, but like it's different. So you and I can have a conversation, Adam,
Yeah.
and you can take one side of the fence and I'll take the other. Kanye will say, I really want to fix abortion. I don't like that abortion is legal. I don't like that it's there because I don't like that it's seen as a better option as letting the child live and putting it in an orphanage because orphanages are bad. And then he'll go on a tangent and he'll start talking about, I think the exact thing he talked about was businesses distract you with tits. Like he'll just swerve into that right away.
Yeah.
So the problem that I feel I've understood with Kanye because of this podcast is he's completely well intentioned. He's a good dude. He's just between the media dragging him and him dragging himself down by not being able to explain his points, he's become vilified as that.
Right.
He strikes me as someone who is not completely, but largely innocent, but has just been getting in his own way. And I think that's an important thing to kind of distinguish about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's also like super off the wagon. Like the guy's like, he was bipolar. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It goes back and forth on them thinking that. He goes into it as when he was at his worst, it's because he's so tired. He does a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And he's under a lot of stress, and anyone can break like that.
Right. But I mean, like if you fucking follow him on Twitter, the shit that like literally Kanye could like post a picture where it's just like him with like a shriveled penis because he just got out of the shower and like say something like, guess
morning,
Kim's not doing it for me today, and that would not really surprise me at all. I'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, that's a Kanye thing.
Kanye's back on Twitter.
Yeah, because he posts like he'll tweet like the most random shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Like conversations he has with other celebrities, and it's just like he'll like screenshot his DMs, and like it'll just be weird, like shit like that is requiring context.
Yeah.
But he won't like give any. So you're like, okay, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Let it run. We're having this is
Well, on
been
this
going
at
well.
this note, I want to call a quick break.
Okay.
Okay.
So we will be back.
Yeah.
Right now.
right now.
Cracking.
Oh yeah.
I didn't hear about this. Yeah.
We're back. So before we took the break, we were talking about how context was important and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And so
Yeah.
I think one thing that's important that's going on right now is Chris Pratt's getting dragged
Yeah.
and trying to get canceled on Twitter.
Yeah.
And everyone's talking about how he goes to a bad church, air quotations on the bad.
Yeah.
It's a church that's very traditional values. And actually this kind of goes well with what Kanye was talking about. So the church is very like strict religion. They're talking about how they don't want abortion to be legal. They don't want all this stuff to be a thing. But people are saying because it has a bad history and Chris Pratt goes to it, he must believe in that kind of
Well,
stuff.
yeah, it was also the fact that like a bunch of the Marvel cast did a fundraiser for Black Lives Matter, and it was like like a lot of them, and Chris Pratt was not on that list of people who did that. So, but I mean, like even in that, like he's never made any direct statements about his politics or anything like that. So people are really just kind of making guesses or taking shots in the dark about what his politics are based on all those like those contextual things.
Yeah.
Which I mean is unfair because I mean, sure, like in that sense, if you look at that stuff, you could maybe take a guess that that's like what his political leanings are, but you can't just go out and try and cancel someone based on what you think they believe in.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
like Connor, I'm only asking you because we've spoken to Griffin a lot.
Yeah.
But like when you look at all these movies that you guys must enjoy because you've made an account about them, like what behind the scenes do you care and not care about? Connor first, and then I'd like to hear Griffin's on that.
Well, I think when you're looking at an actor like that, you have to kind of separate them from what they do outside of the movie and what they're doing inside of it. Because, even if, like, I'll use Kevin Spacey as an example.
That's tough water there.
Despite the bad shit he's done, you can look at the movies he's been in, like
And the
especially,
game. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, clearly
forget.
he's defining
Can't
performance.
forget. Yeah. No, but you can look at like Seven, you know, The Usual Suspects, Baby Driver. You know, he's really good in these movies, and you can separate him, you know, his characters in those movies from who he actually is.
You should be able to.
You should be able to, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's one thing where it's like, I think it's removing like the artist from the art, right? So, and that's the same thing with acting. So if you're an actor or even like a director or anything in the film industry and you've made good stuff, it doesn't like retroactively make that stuff bad once it's revealed that you're like a garbage human being, right? You can still enjoy all that. You just need to like, you know, not maybe give the praise to the person who, you know, put that out there. You can just be like, I enjoy this thing in spite of it having this person involved with the project.
So I think a bit that we could do that could get everyone involved in this is the four of you, there's five of us on the podcast. Close your eyes. I'm going to ask a question. I want gut reaction, hands up, and we'll see who takes what side and see what you'll what you'll see.
This is going to be a lot of, let me explain first.
Yeah, no, like this, I think this could be interesting because this is a good topic. So if you think that the audience should have a say in taking away an artist's or actor's career because of their external affairs, as in, for example, Kevin Spacey being fucked up. If you think we can disregard what he does on film and then just have him not participate after we find out that they've done something wrong, raise your hand.
Wait, what? Explain it?
Yeah, I feel like
yeah.
with the Kevin Spacey situation.
So you're saying if you can remove art from artists?
Yes, if you can remove art from artists. Sorry, I went in a backwards way. Wow, Kyle, close your eyes.
I just opened them for a second because I was confused.
If you think you can remove art from artists, raise your hand. Okay.
Wait. Actually, wait a second. Remove, the audience has a say in removing that art?
Because at this point in time, let's say back in the 80s, the audience couldn't make a huge stand because they couldn't be on Twitter after the movie, right?
All right, well, let's go. I'll just open up your eyes. Okay.
So I saw Adam take the side of art can be separated, Griffin and Conor. So I want to hear from Adam first why he thinks he can do that. Yeah, I thought you
dial up fucking sound.
Literally, that's what I was thinking of.
You want me to take the lead here? I got
No. Let me think. Just give me like 2 seconds.
just quickly. Then Kyle, are you also in that?
I
art
will
removed from
explain my
artists?
point in a second.
Okay.
Fuck. It's. Yeah, I got nothing.
Kyle's point involves a heavy
next.
amount of racism and
All right,
sexism. Just gonna say that right now.
No. So this all has to do with cancel culture, right? I personally don't agree with cancel culture. That is because there's no line. There's no defined line as to what's a bad thing and what's a good thing. Looking up tweets from a long time ago that could be considered controversial, kind of a shitty thing, no matter what. I think people can change. That is something that actually has changed for me. I used to not think people can change.
Right.
Myself, but I've changed on that. So, for example, Kevin Hart going to host whatever he was going to host.
He was going to host the Oscars until he
Yeah.
was found out. Someone from his camp said he wasn't going to stand down, but he eventually did.
Didn't he make like he made like homophobic jokes in the past? That was like the thing.
Yeah.
He made homophobic jokes that were almost impossibly obvious that they were jokes.
Yeah, but it was like stuff about like how he didn't want his son to be gay, or
It's more. I don't want to paraphrase it because it's obviously a joke. Yeah. What
Either
you were
way,
gonna say.
it was like 10 years before this time.
right.
People's opinions can change. I don't think it's fair to accuse someone on something they said. You really got to give them a stance, and the world today does not give people a stance to talk about what they're doing.
I think
No, but like if you think about it, let's say some like a big celebrity right now were to just actually there's no good way to put this. Let's say a celebrity today were to say something controversial.
Robert Downey Jr.
Say the-
burst into the auditorium.
Give us an example of like what they
gay.
would say.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, why don't you? Is there a particular word maybe you want to say?
No, there's
maybe one
none.
that your mother accidentally texted.
Yeah. Okay. it was not like an autocorrect thing. She just, the N is close to the B in the word bigger, okay? That's just what happened.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah,
Bigger. And it was just, I responded with, Mom! And she goes, oh no, am I a bad person now?
Janer is the
Complete
best.
accident.
Canceled.
It was hilarious.
Janer is canceled.
It was hilarious because she felt so bad. But anyways, so let's say a celebrity were to say something that would be considered controversial, but there's actually like some ideas behind it. So it's not something. Let's say it's something that's not socially acceptable, but it's opening up discussion. In the world today, this person would completely be bombarded with insults, death threats, even, and losing movie roles, losing anything immediately after this stuff were to happen. And this person doesn't get a chance to explain themselves, even if it's just to open up a discussion. It obviously depends on what is said. It obviously depends on what they really mean. But I think sometimes it's not fair to just jump to conclusions like that.
Can I just butt in for one thing? Sorry. With that statement specifically, like, I think that highlights the importance and the importance of editing and the importance of long form media such as podcasts, where you can have 3 hours to have a discussion in its entirety.
Yeah.
So like, if you took Kevin Hart and at the top of that situation put him in a room with a good moderator that's not biased against him, and he was able to explain that, you know what, I was fucked up back then, I had my mistakes, but I'm good now, and this isn't me. With those long form discussions, anyone who's a good actor can't hold up all their lies for that long of time. You give them a 10-minute interview, they can bullshit through their teeth the entire time. You give them a 3-hour interview where they don't get any outside help, where they don't get any breaks. They have to keep their moral character up. So when they were talking about the debates and for the president, that those are flawed because of the way they're set up, and there was an alternative brought up about Joe Rogan's podcast where the two could come up and they could both debate each other there with no outside help. That's a better way to do it than the way we've been doing it now. That's the point I wanted to make, so please continue. I just wanted to get that extra.
That makes sense. It's all, it's a judgment of character, 100%. I think it really, like, I'm not saying every person who's had a controversial opinion deserves to be heard. A lot of times they don't deserve it.
Right.
Like, it's crossed the line way too much.
Yeah.
And fuck that.
Right.
I just think that a lot of people jump to conclusions real fast. I think that both sides of an opinion should be heard before a verdict is made.
Right.
Is the best way to put it. I don't think it's possible though. But we need a line. We need like a defined line where people can, when you cross.
Are we arguing the same thing? I'm really confused.
I think we've gotten to the point that we're arguing the same thing.
I mean, I have an interjection to make that I think Kyle might not agree with. I don't know. I'm of the personal opinion that, I completely agree that it's not fair to hold someone accountable to something that they said 10 years ago or something like that. But however, if someone makes a controversial statement or something nowadays, like even coming out in support of Donald Trump or something like that, right? If people online, right, want to bombard and ask or say to a company like, you should take this guy off platform or like remove him for whatever job he's in or whatever like that, right? If the company then decides to do that, right, that's technically the company's decision.
Yeah.
And I don't think
But
that like
the thing is, the company's not doing it because they care.
Right.
A company doesn't care if some guy went on TV and said the N-word and said he, touches kids.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
if
about,
someone says that and no one says anything, the company's going to keep.
Yeah, it's a financial bottom line. And I mean, especially in the film industry, a lot of it is covering up all that shit because they're like, well, hey, this person makes us money and stuff like that. So they care more about like.
Well, they're doing it
that
for public image.
Right, of course. Right. So like, I'm just saying in the sense of when people like lose opportunities and stuff like that because they come out with an opinion that is unfavorable to the masses, right, then maybe there's something about that opinion that's not so great. I don't know. I'm not like, obviously, I've made it pretty clear before my political leanings. I'm a very liberal person, so in that sense I have bias, but I'm just someone who...
My phone just said I need your consent. And I don't know what on.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. Okay, you delve into that while we continue this conversation, because this is a good conversation.
Yeah.
Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, so like just in that sense of like, I'm losing my train of thought now. The interruptions. I hate this always happens.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of saying
I'm
something.
so sorry, but how do I
always
not
interrupt.
bring
I know,
that
but
up?
we need to just get rid of the phones entirely.
Yeah.
We need to just make that a rule from now on.
We need a little phone
not in the
bin.
room anymore.
Yeah, like it's like a fucking like Protestant household. Like, yeah, put your phones in the basket. Dinner.
Phones in the basket before bed.
Here's one thing I want to get to before we get too far from that point, because I like what you're saying, but that's kind of the role of consumers.
Yeah.
To be the driving force. We're supposed to be the ones that keep the rich people in check.
It hardly happens.
I know, but
Yeah.
in terms of we can hit them where it hurts by banding together. It becomes a problem because it's hard for everyone to agree on these things when there's multi-million-dollar companies that are essentially smear campaigns on good movements.
Yeah.
So while there's all these good movements, there's always going to be bad people that are inside of them. There's always going to be bad people that, from what I've heard, are literally paid to infiltrate them and make them seem worse. So there's just media in general is super important, and the fact that corporations and governments can be in charge of them is a huge problem. I give a lot of crap to Rebel News.
Yeah.
Because to me, I don't like their views. I don't like the way they do it. I think they don't go about it well. But I respect the fact that they're doing it because they want to do it. And even though there's corporations and governments, specifically Canada's government, that doesn't like what they're doing, they still do it. I respect them. I don't like them.
I think a lot of the big problem with that too, though, comes in is that it's not like, especially in the case of like Rebel News, they're not news, they're propaganda, and like that's the entire like intention, is to kind of mislead people into having certain opinions, right? So like and this is a big thing for like, if you know PragerU, like they make a ton of videos where they like blatantly lie about things and like statistics, everything like that. The reason why is because, if you don't know, the vast majority of their benefactors are huge fossil fuel companies, which, you know, they're like, oh yeah, we're unbiased, we're just presenting the facts. It's clearly not that. It is literally just putting poison in people's minds, so that they're like, yeah, we'll support what should be a dying industry because it's old shit. You know, remember when we used to innovate and like push forward, so that like we were like, oh, this new technology that would be great for everyone else, and it's the next step in our progress. Now we're in a state where there are people who are literally just saying, no, it's fine. Imagine, that's the thing too. I saw this on Twitter. Someone made a really good point about this. We're like, imagine if politicians were going like, no, we should stop using like cars as a mode of transportation. Let's all return to bicycles and horse buggies, right? Like
walking.
Yeah, like it's the same kind of redundant shit as that, or like even like Trump holding on to like coal as a fucking fuel source and stuff like that. None of that like makes sense. It's literally called non-renewable energy, right? And we have access to renewable energies, but now we're like in a system where there's so many people that are championing this idea that, oh, we can stick to all that because it's fine. And, you know, they like to ignore the problems, the clear problems that it has, not even just for the environment, right? Because even outside of that, if you're like a super into like, you know, you love capitalism and the economy and stuff like that, it's bad for that as well.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're leaning on a fuel resource that's going to deplete pretty soon.
Yeah. I guess with that, like, Adam, do you have your point back from earlier?
No, we're so far from the original point. I got nothing. I just like the fact that like an artist can make something and I can enjoy it, and then shitty things come out about them later. I can still enjoy it. It doesn't change my view on the movie, the music, the whatever, right?
Yeah,
because
like,
it was made without that negative intention, I guess.
Yeah, I absolutely love Gary Glitter. I don't like his music too much though. You know.
I don't get the.
He's a great person. Oh,
He-
it's the guy. You know that song from Joker where he's dancing on like the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
the
was
pedo.
yeah, the pedophile.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So is that your defining moment of separating art from artist?
Yeah. I love the artist, not the art.
Oh, I also love Kevin Spacey in Call of Duty: Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, he's great.
My dad recognized him, so it's kind of an important moment.
All right. Well, if we have nothing else to add, I think that's a good point to end it then. Kyle, you want to take it away?
Thank you so much for listening to this super deep episode of Last Call for Losers podcast. It was a bit different today. If you liked it, let us know and we can do more episodes like this. If you want us to go back to what we were, it doesn't matter. We love to hear it. We love to talk about new things. We'll obviously try a bunch of new things each week. Hopefully.
We're still just throwing shit at the wall like a bunch of monkeys.
Yeah, honestly, but we'll see what sticks, and we're having fun with it. If you like all over the place, let us know, and if you want to hear more stuff, let us know. Thank you so much. Check us out on Twitter at Last Call Losers, because they took Last Call for Losers, and I'm kind of mad about it, but it's
actually
fine.
because the handle can't be that long.
Okay, well, that's the reason.
Yeah.
At Last Call for Losers on Instagram. And the episodes that weren't uploaded, they will be uploaded by this time. Yeah. Really sorry about that. It was exam week, kind of rough.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
We will get back on the regular schedule very soon, and video podcasts coming soon. Thank you so much
Bye.
Thanks,
for
everyone.
listening, and good night.
I love you.